Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Shishi Gaur, Shishi Radha, Vrindavan Bihari ki, Gaur Premanande. So welcome to the 8th session or 8th part of the Guruvashtakam. And today's verse that we had partially finished in the Lalita Bhavan was Sri Radhika Madhurya Apara Madhurya Leela. So now we will come to the part where Guna Rupa Namna Prati Shanasva Dhanulolukasya Vande Guruho Sri Charanarvinda. So the transcendental guna means in the material world it means the three modes of material nature: tamagun, rajagun, and satagun, the mode of ignorance, mode of passion, and mode of goodness. So we are under the control of that. But Krishna, because he has given a complete free hand to Yogamaya, she only operates in the transcendental worlds or the transcendental region, especially most busy in the Golok Vrindavan or Vrindavan. Her job is continuously, she is directing along with Purnamasi in Yogamaya, directing the wonderful Madhurya Lila pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And in the transcendental qualities of Krishna are so many, we don't really have that much time to go into. But in Vraj, all his qualities are transcendental, including stealing. There is one bhajan written by, I think, Bilva Mangal Thakur, that is known as Chorashtakam. Vraje prasiddha navanita choram Gopanganana Dukkola Chora Aneka Janma Papa Choram Gopa Agraganyam Purusha Namami Gopa Agraganyam Purusha Namami. So in this bhajan, Bilawangal Thakur says in every line, Chor Agraganyam Purusha Namami. I offer my respectful obeisance is the number one thief. Who offers obeisances to thieves? Nobody. But he is the number one thief in Vraj. In the first verse, very nicely Bilawangal Thakur says for Vaidhi Bhaktas that Aneka Arjita Papachuram. For us, he steals our pap, our sinful activities. And also, he steals away the dukkulam, the miseries of the Vrajvasis. And then not only that, he steals further in those verses, he steals the heart of Srimati Radha. Vraje Prasiddha Navnita Choram, and he is well known by the name Navnit Chor. Navnit means Makhan, means butter, and he is well known as Makhan Chor in Vraj. These are his qualities. It is not that he wants to really steal butter, but it is for the satisfaction of the gopis. He does that. Sometimes the gopis would sit outside on the front door and thinking, when is he going to come? When is he going to come? When is he going to come? So there is sufficient amount of Gandhan Maharaj's his main business is Goraksha and the products that are produced from cows, milk, yogurt, then from all those products, butter, and he supplies that to Mathura, and that's his business. And when Krishna appeared, it is said that he donated 900,000 cows to the Brahmins, etc. So there is not uh, a shortage of all these things. But then why is he going to different people's houses? Because when the gopis used to come and complain to Mother Yashoda, look what your son has done. He's stealing in our houses. And Mother Yashoda will say, why will he steal? Look how much we have in our storerooms. We have warehouses full of all these items. You are simply behind my son. Uh, Simply just complaining. That's what you are. So, like that, Mother Yashoda will throw off the complaint. But the gopis, the day Krishna never came, they were very sad. That why is he not come? When will he come and I will catch him red-handed? And I will. One time Krishna went to one gopi's house, and Krishna, that gopi was determined to catch him red-handed. So she was hiding behind the door in the kitchen. And Krishna came and he stealthily telling his ankle bells, shh, keep quiet. Today I'm going inside, don't make any noise. So this ankle bell is also Vaishnava. As per the entire spiritual world, everything is Vaishnava. Nothing like this, like even a table. My dear table, please come here. And it will immediately come. My dear flute, please come here. So everything is Vaishnava there. Chitta. There is Chitta Jagat. But here this is inanimate. If I say, my dear, please table, come here, come here, come here, I can say it all my life and it is not going to move even 1 millimeter. So he's telling his pile, his ankle bells, shh. And he goes inside, but this gopi is very smart. She sees, here he is, and she's waiting. The moment he puts his hand inside, she catches him. Now tell me, what's going on? Ale boli maya, in a very, very, like how the children speak, they cannot pronounce everything very correctly. So they speak in, I don't know what the exact word in English is, but in Hindi it's called totla. So, like they cannot.
Kind of stammering.
Stammering, yeah, okay, you can say so. So if we are saying a simple sentence like, I am here. So, I am here, how the children speak, something like that. So she says, Ari Maya, oh my dear mother, you know. She said, oh Lala, what have you done? Your mother denies that you are stealing butter, but now I caught you. No, Maya, actually my calf ran into your pot and I'm trying to search my calf. So then, Acha, your calf. So where is your calf? Show me. And she catches one hand, doesn't let him go. And then inside from that, he takes out a toy calf made of marble. So like that, Idriksa Lilavir Ananda Kunde. One time, one gopi catches him again red-handed and says, your mother doesn't believe that you are stealing in our houses. Let me take you. I'm not going to wipe all the makhan from you. We'll leave it like that. All the dirty clothes with all the makhan, with the butter on your chest. I'm going to march you through the streets of Gokul. But when the ladies come out in Braj, they are shy. They have to wear a veil. So underneath the veil, one hand she catches Krishna, and on the other side, she hides Krishna under the veil. And she marches, Ari Yashoda, Ari Yashoda, oh Yashoda, oh Yashoda. Look, I told you we were all complaining, and the whole Gokul gathers. In India, if something happens, small thing, very easily, 50 people can come from nowhere. Now, one small little thing happens, but in the West it's not like that. So all the Vrajavasis in Gokul they gathered, and they simply said, "What is going on? This gopi is shouting loudly, yelling, Yashoda, Yashoda." So they all gathered. Yashoda came out of the kitchen. Ari, what's wrong with you? Why you are yelling and screaming? Shh, keep your voice down. My Lala is sleeping. My Krishna is sleeping. Because when she walked out of the kitchen, she came across the corridor. She saw in that room where Krishna's bedroom is, he was fast asleep. But here she has caught this Krishna stealing butter in her home. Then look, you don't believe me, but today I will prove it to you that your son has stolen in my house. One of the transcendental qualities of Krishna is stealing. That is the best quality of Krishna, stealing. So she then takes her veil out. And what is underneath? When she's catching the finger of that child, it happens to be her own child. Krishna is Yatra Yatra Yogeshwar. He is the biggest mystic. So he, by his mystic powers, he tells Yogmaya, change him. Instead of me, let's bring. Everybody laughed and made fun of her. And then everybody went away. Because there is no substance in that gopi stock. And even Mother Yashoda shook her head, wasting my time, go away. Then Mother Yashoda goes back to the kitchen and she is just shocked looking at her finger, her son, and then she's looking back for where is Krishna? What happened? And then when everybody is gone, Krishna, who is apparently sleeping in his bedroom, slowly comes out, rubbing his eyes, and he catches Mother Yashoda on the way to the kitchen. Maya, who is making all this noise, not allowing me to sleep properly? And then he goes out, and then he sees that gopi. Curie, what? You think it's so easy to catch me? He said, next time it will not be your child, it will be your father, it will be your father-in-law. You try this again on me, I will embarrass you so badly that when you open your veil, it will be your sasur. So like this, Idriksha Ananda stealing. Stealing the hearts of the gopis, stealing the hearts of the Rajvasis, especially. The word Hari means to steal. Hari means to steal. So even the gopis, they use the word Hari for Krishna. But it is not the Hari of Vaikuntha or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is Hari, like Hari means you're stealing our hearts. When they address the word Hari, when Jatila and Kutila says that Hari will come and harass you, be careful, come up straight, tells Radharani. When you go to the Surya Kund to worship the sun god, be careful that Hari will come. So what is that Hari? Hari means for her, it is the kidnapper of women or the harasser of women. So different meanings of the word Hari, depending on the mood of the Vaishnava. But those who are singing Om Jai Jagadisha Hare, so that is a different meaning. Totally Vaidhi Bhakti, totally, please take our sins away. Dukkha Haran, this, that. But Mother Kunti in Dwarka is also playing. Please give me more dukh, give me more misery so we can vipada, what is that verse? Santa, something like that. So we can remember you more. And there in Raj, they like Krishna harassing them so that they can also get a chance to harass Krishna. Tit for tat. Transcendental tit for tat. And that way they can continuously remember Krishna. Even when he is doing all the wrong things, they are constantly talking about him. See how he cheated my mother-in-law, Krishna. We heard that in the morning from Chamatkar Chandrika of Vishwanath Chandra Thakur. So like that, there are so many. So many transcendental, unlimited qualities Krishna has. Guna, Rupa. We all know the beauty of Krishna. We sing that every morning during Darshana and Arti, right? Kandalpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So out of all the Satchitanandas, even so, They all have the different lordships in the spiritual worlds. They have 60 qualities. How many? 60 qualities. Lord Shiva has 55. And the topmost Jiva, the maximum points that they can achieve is 50 points, which Lord Brahma has got full 50 points. That is why he is Brahma. Lord Shiva has 5 extra qualities, 55. And all the other personalities of Godhead, they are 60. But Krishna in Vrindavan has got 64. Madhurya Venu, Madhurya Rupa, Madhurya Leela, and what is the fourth one? Madhurya uh, uh, Rupa. The most beautiful. There is no other form of Krishna or personality of Godhead as beautiful as Krishna in Vrindavan. Alopa Chandra Glasada Vanmalyubam Sri Ratnangada Pranaya Keli Kala Vyasaso Govinda Vadi Purusham Tamaham Shyamam Trivanga Lalitam. No, you cannot find Krishna in Dwarka or Mathura in Trivanga, 3-band form. Only in Vrindavan. Because the 3-band form is required, that position properly to play the flute, to get that bhav. He has to bend. And the most melodious sound comes out of his flute to attract everyone. Not only the creepers, the plants, the calves, the cows, and most of all, the gopis for his Ras Leela. To Vipinamahu Murali Hata Saji Naval Kishora Naval Manmohana Naval Swarvam Shivaji Vipinamahu Murali Hata Saji. In the middle of the night, Krishna's beautiful flute as decorating Krishna's lips. Hata Saji Naval Kishora. This Naval Kishore, this the youthful form of Krishna. That Lord Brahma says, and Prabhupada said that all the people, like the Christians and the Catholics, believe God is very old. Like when we had gone to Italy, we actually saw that sculpture of Michelangelo, with God being depicted as one with a long beard, with a lot of wrinkles on his forehead, and his fingers and his hands are full of wrinkles. That famous picture of the sculpture of Michelangelo, showing God. But what does Brahma Samhita say? Advaitam Achyutam Anadam Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham. He is the oldest. But now Yavanam Cha, he is the most youthful. Most youthful. So Krishna in Raj is the most youthful. 15 years and 9 months exactly. The Govinda Madi Purusham that we sing is exactly and eternally. And he is called Nanda Kishore. Manasa Deha Gaya Jo Kichumor Arpilo Tuapade Nanda Kishore. So here Bhakti Thakurji is writing, and in his bhav as Kamala Manjari, he is seeing that he is Nanda Kishore, not Bal Krishna. Sometimes we find it's okay not to kind of, find any fault, but many ISKCON devotees are worship Laddu Gopal. That is not our mood. In the beginning, it's okay, acceptable. At least you are accepting Krishna. That's the whole idea. But Laddu Gopal is not our mood. Our mood, as I've been saying for the last 7 sessions, glorifying our Vaishnava Acharyas. Mahaprabhu came to give us Madhurya Ras. He was not happy when Rai Ramanan described the Dasya Ras in Vaikuntha. He was not happy. He was happy, but not so happy when he described the Vatsalya Ras. And he was a little bit more happier when he described the Sakhya Ras and then the Vatsalya Ras. But he was most happy when Rai Ramanan described the Madhurya Ras. So that is what our mood is. So we should only worship, like His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj's mood is perfect Gaudiya. If you see in the Gaudiya missions that even Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada started, the headquarters, Kolkata, Gaudiya Bhag Bazar Math. Who do we have in Gaudiya Math? Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna. These three. That is the Pakka Gaudiya mode. So he has established Vrindavan here. He has established the Gaudiya Siddhanta here. He has established Sri Gauranga Radha Vrindavan Bihari. Not even Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is already in Gauranga Mahaprabhu. But the thing is, we have to follow in the footsteps. And Prabhupada was very flexible because in the beginning, all his goal was to call everybody to Krishna consciousness. That's why he even established Sitaram Lakshmana Bhaji in many places. So for the general public in India, a lot of them in North India, Sitaram Lakshman is very dear. But Prabhupada with the mood that he is nothing but an expansion of Krishna. So when we worship Sitaram Lakshman Hanumanji, for him he is worshipping the origin of Sitaram Lakshman Hanumanji. No, actually this is loose. It needs to be tightened. This particular part. You have some coin or something, this screw. ये screw है ना, उसको tight करना है. So therefore he established Sitaram Lakshman. Okay, come. Somehow or the other if you will come. So he established Sitaram Lakshman in Bombay and many other places. He established them. He even established Srinathji. Now, Srinathji, he established not in Vasudeva Bhav, but in the Bhav of Madhindra Puri. That is his internal mood. Because Srinathji or Gopalnathji manifests to Madhindra Puri and near Govind Kund. Right? He was manifest. But that is too thick. Careful, careful. Come on this side. बैठ रहा है छोटा कॉइन चाहिए नहीं छोटा कॉइन हो गया तो चलिए. You have something from our Canadian dime?
You live in Canada.
Yeah. You are in Canada?
I live in the US.
Where in US?
Well, I lived in New York and New Vrindavan.
I know you from New Vrindavan because we come 6 times in a year for all festivals to New Vrindavan.
Good to see you. That's
What's your name?
Vrindavan now.
Vrindavan Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Satchitananda, Mahaprabhu. So, that is the mood. Whenever Vaishnavas, they have a reason. Some or the other, let's bring people to Krishna. But once they are interested and once they are, thank you, once they are, थोड़ा और करो टाइम, लूज है, हरी बोल, नहीं जा रहा है, अच्छा, ये आपका बैग देखो, ये बैच गले में लगाया है, उससे हो जाएगा, वो पतला है ना? Utility is the principle, yes. हो गया? हो रहा है. हाँ हुआ. Perfect. That's good. Yeah. Thank you. So some may criticize Srila Prabhupada. That is not our mood. That is why some of them outside of ISKCON they get this opportunity to criticize A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, but they don't understand his mood. Yes. So all those are different moods. Radha Parthasarathi, actually there is a deeper meaning behind it. Why Prabhupada installed Radha Parthasarathi in Delhi? It sounds like Rasavas, but it is not Rasavas. We don't really have the time to get into that, but maybe at a private time we can discuss because I have to cover a lot, especially the next 2 verses, half of this verse and the next verse, Nikunja Yunavati Kelis, which is the summum bonum of the internal bhajan of our Gaudiya Acharyas. So one time Srila Prabhupada wrote, and this will shock a lot of us, that when he wrote a letter to Srila Narayan Maharaj, that even if I have to sell meat and wine, I will do that to propagate Krishna consciousness. So much intensity. Not that he was going to do it, but that's the bhav, that I have to fulfill my Guru Maharaj's desire. We cannot imitate Prabhupada and then really start selling meat and wine. No, then we will go to hell. And we will even send those people to hell. Right? But Prabhupada had that intensity. Like Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada. When Lord Satchitananda visited, I think he visited Calcutta, Mayapur at that time, the governor of India under the English rule, he served, because the English were there, he served meat separately. He even, some brahmacharis had to leave very early for Sankirtan. So it was Ekadashi. But we offer grains to the Lord, like puris, pakoras, everything on their plate, because in the Lord's plate, it is just not Ekadashi bhoga. So he ordered Pujari, if the offering is done, they are leaving and they won't be back till the evening late. And I don't want them to go hungry. They will not get much anywhere. Give them whatever was offered to the Lord. But the Pujari said, this is grains. He says, no, offer it. Give it to them. So an Acharya can bend the rules. Because they have so much love for Krishna that even Krishna dances to their tunes. What to talk about? Because they are manjaris, right? They make Krishna dance. So Krishna cannot be offended if a Vaishnava takes on the order of a pure devotee grains on Ekadashi. In this case, very rare, but it happened. It is a fact, right? But we cannot imitate Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur or Prabhupada. Prabhupada told the first batch when they were about to get initiated, I mentioned that, initiated. Tomorrow is Janmashtami, I will initiate you all in New York. So he said, from tomorrow on, you will take a vow during initiation that you will follow the four regulative principles and you will chant minimum 16 good rounds. 64 good rounds. So immediately they started calculating. Howard Wheeler, Professor Howard Wheeler, who later on became Hayagriva Mahaswami, Swamiji, impossible. And they used to take about 10 to 12 minutes for one round at that time. So that means it would take them 12 to 14 hours just to finish 64 rounds. So they said, not possible, Swamiji, not possible. He said, okay, 32. So he changed the rules. His Guru Maharaj's instruction was 64 rounds. A lot of them even, they don't follow it. They don't even chant full 16 rounds. So they are not following the Acharya. And then we say we want Raganuga Bhakti, we want Madhurya Ras. How is it possible? Then also they said, no, 6, 7 hours, too much. We don't have that much time, Swamiji. Okay, minimum 16 good rounds. You must chant and follow the four regulative principles. So like that. There is one song in Hindi. प्रबल प्रेम के बारे पढ़कर प्रभु को नियम बदलते देखा, अपना मान टले टल जाए और भक्त का मान ना टलते देखा. Translation. Out of so much dense love for the Vaishnavas or for the devotee, प्रबल प्रेम के बारे पढ़कर प्रभु को नियम बदलते देखा. The Lord even changes his rules. अपना मान टले टल जाए, even at the cost of him losing his respect. But he will not allow the devotee's respect to be lost. One perfect example is in Kurukshetra, when Arjuna was shattered by almost finished by the arrows of Bhishmadev. But prior to that, when before the Kurukshetra started, Arjuna was sitting, Krishna was lying down on the bed, and Arjuna was massaging Krishna's lotus feet, and he was sitting at the Krishna's feet. And then Krishna slowly fell asleep. And at that time, Duryodhana also came. And Duryodhana sat down in a chair next to Krishna's head. When Krishna woke up, first thing he saw was Arjuna, because he was sitting at his feet. And then he said, yes, Arjuna, can I give you something? Do you want something? Krishna said that deliberately. Because he knew, as Paramatma, although he didn't see him, but he saw him. He is the Paramatma. Duryodhana is sitting next to me. So immediately Duryodhana said, Keshav, main pehle aaya. I came first. So, and Arjun came later. Arjun then started massaging Krishna's feet. So Krishna smiled very. That smile of Krishna is very enchanting. That is called smita. Manda. Very slight smile. If you see the deities also, they don't smile like that. Very cunning, very sweet, all of the above. A, B, C, D, what is the right choice? All of the above. So the Manda Muskan is not Smita. So he said to Duryodhana, you are the older brother. Arjuna is younger. So we should always give the first chance to the younger. So Krishna is still poking and making him more angry. Duryodhana, no, Keshav, that's not fair. I was first come, first serve. That is the policy everywhere. So you have to, I'm here to ask you something. So tell me, what do you want? He said, okay, fine, you want to throw the rules, then so be it. So Krishna, now the Kurukshetra war is going to start. So I want you to give me your Akshahuni Sena, where there is so many armies. It is called Akshahuni. I forgot the actual number, but it goes into hundreds of thousands of infantry, horses, elephants, chariots. So I know you have the Akshahuni Sena. I'm here to ask that. Because he knew if Krishna gives him the Akshahuni Sena, the entire army, he will win. That was his idea of tricking Krishna by saying that I am first and I want to ask them before Arjuna asked for that. He thought Arjuna will ask for that. And then he looked at Arjuna, Arjuna, what do you want? Said Krishna, I just want you. You can give the Akshawani Sena to my older brother, cousin Duryodhan, you can give it to him. No problem. So Krishna said, okay, Duryodhan, my Akshawani Sena is yours. And then he said, no, not just that. You have to promise one more thing, that you will not participate in the Mahabharata war. You will not take any participation. You will not act or fight. So he said, okay, that's also okay. Okay, no problem. That's it? Anything more? No, I'm very happy. So the wicked Duryodhan was so happy when he got these two conditions fulfilled. The unlimited big army of Krishna, and Krishna will not participate. Because he knows Krishna is very tricky. Anything can happen if he participates in the war. He's satisfied, he left. So he asked Arjun, why didn't you ask for the Akshawani Sena? I could have given it to you. He said, no, I don't need Akshawani Sena. I don't need that big army. When we have you, we have enough. Then, after I think 14 days or 12 days of the Mahabharata, at that time, Duryodhan accuses Bhishma Dev, saying that you are a traitor. See how they are throwing arrows at you, and you are such a big warrior. And you cannot finish Duryodhan and the Pandavas. That means you have a very soft corner. You are eating from my plate. मेरा नमक खा रहे हो और मुझसे नमक हरामी कर रहे हो. As a saying in India, that if you are eating somebody's salt, meaning their food, so supposing somebody is working for you and you are the boss, and if they're eating or when you are giving them a salary, that means you are providing them their livelihood. And if they backbite you, or if they become traitors, and instead of owing their allegiance to you or owing their wafadari, what is wafadari in English? Their trust, they are doing the opposite. So you are that traitor, Vishwadev. And Vishwadev could not bear that because he had taken that vow to protect Hastinapur and any ruler sitting on that Vyasa, on that Singhasan. He had promised that. That's why his name was given Bhishma. Bhishma in Sanskrit means solid vow. Solid vow. All the denizens from the heavens, they showered flowers when he made that promise that he will never get married. Because Satyavati, his stepmother, said that, okay, my son will become the king of Hastinapur. But what happens when Devda, Vishwadev's name was Devda, if he gets married and if his children start fighting in future, then what? So Vishwadev took that vow. My dear father, just for the pleasure of my stepmother and your happiness, I will never get married. I will remain brahmachari all my life. And not only that, I promise to protect entire Hastinapur and whoever is the ruler as long as I am living. He promised that. That's why the demigods showered flowers and said, Bhishma, Bhishma, Bhishma. And from that day onwards, his name became Bhishma. So, when Bhishmadev was fully, although Duryodhan and party had disrobed Draupadi, taking off her sari and everything, even then he was feeling so bad. But he had taken a vow to protect Hastinapur and the ruler. So the cunning Duryodhan was under his protection. And he told him so bad, rough words, that you are a traitor. You cannot finish this Pandavas. You are such a great warrior. So then he took a vow. He said, by the end of this day at sunset, I will finish Arjun. I will finish Arjun. He felt very bad at that time. And then he showered so many arrows, big and small, with all mystic powers, that the chariot got shattered. Arjun's crown fell off. Even Krishna was injured. There's that famous picture, if you see, how blood was coming out from Krishna's shoulders. So then at that time, when Krishna saw that this is not going to stop, Arjun and the Pandavas will be finished. So at that time, he alighted from the chariot and he took that broken wheel and he charged towards Bhishma Dev and he broke his promise. He did not want to fight, but he, out of love for his devotee. So that's why Pratijanadi Kaunteya Name Bhaktya Pranashati. You declare, Arjuna, that my devotee will never perish. So somebody will ask, why Krishna is saying that in the Bhagavad Gita? Like supposing if I want to say something, I will say, Radha Madan Gopal, can you say this? But I can also say it directly. So because when he is known to break his promise, but when a devotee says that a Krishna's devotee will never perish, then Krishna must listen. Krishna must listen to the fully surrendered devotee. So that's why he said, Arjun, you declare that my devotee will never perish. These are some of the secrets. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the same personality who has written composed this Guruvashtakam. Srila Prabhupada uses his commentaries in the Bhagavatam. So प्रबल प्रेम के पाले पढ़कर प्रभु को नियम बदलते देखा, अपना मान टले टल जाए और भक्त न मान न टलते देखा. Even though at his own risk that, oh, you are a liar, Krishna, we know how you cheat. That's okay. But for the devotee, he is willing to even be called a liar, even to get defamed. He is willing to do that. That is the love Krishna has for his devotees. So, Vraja Prasiddha Navnita Choram, he is the topmost chore. So we are talking about the different transcendental qualities, and I described only one. Krishna is unlimited, and I am not unlimited. So I cannot, and I don't have unlimited time. So I cannot describe even the few qualities that we are capable of describing. But the topmost quality is chori. Stealing, yes, stealing the butter to please the gopis. When will he come? When will he come? Stealing the miseries of the Vrajvasis. Krishna, there is a forest fire. Save us. And immediately Krishna takes the forest fire. Krishna, in the Talwan, the sweets, the fruits are so sweet. We want to eat them, but there is one demon in the shape of a donkey. He doesn't like that. He kills. Okay, so he tells Balaram, you take care. So in Talwan, Balaram takes the Dhenukasur and throws him and finishes him. We have this nice Talwan right here in our Govardhaniko village. So like this, Vrajangana Dukkala Choram. And for us, for the Vaidhi Bhaktas, Aneka Janma Arjita Papa Choram. Millions and millions of births that we have accumulated so many sins, Krishna steals those sins away. That is the Chor Ashtakam, glorifying the thief. Bilwa Mangal Thakur has compiled Chor Ashtakam, 8 verses. So like this, we find these are the transcendental guna. Rupa, we already have given full examples. We find that in the Brahma Samhita. Venur Konandam Arvindam Dalayatasham Bharavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundara is so beautiful. Gandharva Koti Kamaniya, Vishesha Shobha. Millions and millions of cupids. Cupid is very beautiful. But Krishna is even more beautiful than millions of cupid. In fact, Cupid gets attracted to Krishna. And one of the names of Cupid in Sanskrit is Madan. And Krishna's name is Madan Mohan. Right here. Right? Where? Which direction? Right there. Madan Mohan. Right? And Radharani attracts Madan Mohan, therefore she is also known as Madan Mohana Mohini. That is Srimati Radharani's one name. So Guna, Rupa, briefly we described Nam. So I would like to spend some time on Nam. Very important, especially from the Gaudiya perspective. What is this? Now, Nama Chiddamani Sri Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddha Nitya Mukta Abhinatvam Namna Namino. So first of all, we have to have this conviction that when we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, the sound vibration of Hara and Krishna is actually we are associating with Krishna and Krishna's associates. I'm going to go just a little bit into detail on the holy name. Why? It's so important for us. Because the holy name, from day one somebody walks into ISKCON, what do the devotees say? Please chant Hare Krishna. If you're not chanting, try to chant at least one round. And if we are here in our 70th year or 80th year, if there is any devotees or even Prabhupada disciples, we still chant the holy name. Not only that, I gave that example that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted continuously for 12 years in the Gambhira, in seclusion. Nandanandan Krishna of Raj, who is Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, the lover of the gopis, the lover of Srimati Radharani, he takes ashraya of the holy name. Why? Because it is Nam Chintamani. Nam Chintamani means it is a desire tree. Just like whatever you desire, Chinta means to think. Chintan, Chinta, same group in our understanding. So whatever you desire, the holy name can give us. So if somebody desires material things, the holy name can even give us that. But that is not the optimal use of the holy name. Right? Supposing Prabhupada gives this example, somebody is extremely rich, not billionaire, let's say trillionaire. And there are few people who go to see him and he's very large-hearted. Whatever you ask him, he will give. So one person comes and says, my dear Prabhu, can you give me 10 rupees? So he said, okay, give him 10. The next person says, can you give me 10 lakh rupees? He says, please give it to him. Somebody says, give me 10 crores. He is able to give, he's so larger, give him 10 crores. So if you go to a very rich person and if you ask for only $1 or 1 rupee, is that wisdom? No, it is not. So similarly, the holy name is able to give us Krishna. It is able to give us Radha Dasyam. And we are asking for small, petty things. Tuchya. Petty things we are asking or we are desiring. So that is the holy names. Now, the Guna Rupa Namna. That is why Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur has composed a beautiful bhajan in Sharanagati. Actually, it's the last bhajan of Sharanagati. The Samam Bonam, the other day I explained the meaning of Sharanagati. What kind of shelter? Sharan plus Agati. Sharan means shelter, but what kind of Agati? Agati means no movement. So, just like the verse number 8 of Chaitanya Sastrisha Padartam Pinashtumam, Adarshanam Marma Hatam Karotuva. Yata Tatha Vidato Lamputa Mat Pranatha say. Whether you kick me, embrace me, you are my Lord and Master birth after birth. I'm not moving from you. Like a solid Himalayan mountain, I'm going to be there. Even if you kick me, I'm still there. And if you love me, I'm still there. That kind of. Previously, we gave this example. Some people come to the temple more because they have Arti, Arthati, Jnani, Chikyasu. And that kind of problems they have. They are poor, and they need something material, so they come. Once that problem is solved, they don't come to the temple anymore. Once in a year for Janmashtami. Right? So that is not what Srimad Bhagavatam says. This is the third time I am repeating. What kind of bhakti it should be? Savai pumsam paro dharma yato bhakti radhokshaje ahituki apratiyata jena atma suprasiddhati. It has to be uninterrupted and without any material motivation. So the holy names. So Thakur Bhakti has written such a beautiful song. He says, Krishna Nama Dhore Kotoba Vishaya Vashananale Mora Chitta Sada Jale Ravita Maru Bhumi Shama Karnarandra Patha Diya Hridi Baje Mora Pravisha Varashiyo Sudha Anu Pama. So he's saying Krishna Naam, Dhare Koto Bal. What kind of strength Krishna Naam has? Dhare Koto Bal. Huh? Vishaya Vasana Moro Chitta Sada Jale. He's talking about us, taking a humble situation, humble position. Vishaya, we are all inflicted with material desires, material things. Vishaya Vasanale, Mora Chitta Sada Jale. And my heart is constantly burning because of the suffering. Just like Ravi Tapta Maru Sama, just like the scorching sun in the desert. It is like that my heart is. I'm never satisfied, even though I can be the richest person in the world. But are we fully satisfied? No, unless and until we come to Savai Pumsa Purvodharma. Huh? And then he says that Karna Randira, through the ears of my ears, the whole sound vibration enters in my heart. Riddhi Maji Praveshya. Varashya Sudha Anupam, and it showers the nectar, showers pure nectar, the holy name. Then now he further describes the holy name. He says, Hriday hoite bole, it is there within my heart, Jivara agrete chale. Once it has entered my heart, it dances on the top of my tongue. Prabhupada used to say that, if you remember, that when you chant the Shuddha Naam, Krishna will dance on your tongues. You have heard it?
Yes.
Yeah? So this is exactly what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying. That Jiveta Agreta means on the tip. Prabhupada uses the same words, on the tip of the tongue. Agreta means the tip. Jiveta Agreta. Chale. Shabda Rupa Nachi Anushan. And in the form of sound vibration, the holy name is constantly dancing. Every moment, the holy name is dancing. Kantamora Bhangaswara. And I cannot even, my throat, Bhanga swar means to break the syllables. Like the same thing what Mahaprabhu is saying, Nayanam Galada Sudharaya Vadanam Gattadarudeadira. That my sound is faltering. I cannot even pronounce Krishna properly. Krishna. That much ecstasy. And then he says, Sada Rupe Nache Anushara, Kantamora Bhangeswara, Anga Kape Thara Thara, and I'm shivering. Romancha Kampan, shivering. Ashru Taranga. So same thing. Our Acharya is one beautiful thing. Words may be slightly different, some in Sanskrit, some in Bengali, translations in English, whenever Acharyas do, it is as it is. We should also, you all are students at the Bhaktivedanta Vidyapeeth, when you graduate and everything, and when you become good preachers, never forget that we have to preach as it is. Whatever we have learned without any of our own brains, we should not use that. Na buddhaya na nikaya. Then he says, Chakshe dhara dehe gharva. Tears are constantly flowing. Nayanam galada sudhaya. Chakshe dhara dehe gharva. Pulkita Savacharma, and I'm sweating, and my hairs are standing on my body. Romancha. Romancha. That's what even Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says. Romancha Kampashru Tarangavajo. Then he's saying, Vivarana Hoilo Kalivara, and I lose color of my skin. Vivarana, well, I become pale. So when this Ashtasattvik vikars happen, all of these are the symptoms when one enters Samadhi. And just with the holy name. So where are we? We can measure. Sometimes we think we are chanting 32 rounds, 64 rounds, somebody is chanting 100 rounds. But where is that quality? That is what we should aim for. Right? It's the quality, like, do we feel like this? Do we feel Romancha Kampanashu? Etc. So, and then he's saying, Murchita Hoilo Mana Pralaya Agaman, and I am fainting, meaning my heart faints. My heart is fainting. Murchita Hoilo Mana Pralaya, and what it is bringing, the result is bringing devastation. Pralaya. So one will think, by chanting the holy name, if devastation takes place, but not material devastation. Yes, material devastation, all material things are devastated. Tasyaham anugrahami. Bali Maharaj, instructions, and Prabhupada also, when he lost everything, his whole plans, when the lantern fell, burned all the papers, the first thing he said, well, this is Krishna's plan, tasyaham anugrahami. Especially when he has showing a special mercy, he takes away everything. Tada Harisha. Again, the word Hari is used. He takes away. Harisha Dhanam. He takes away family members. And that's exactly happened in Prabhupada's practical life. He said, I'm penniless, I'm poor, I don't have anything. Everybody that loved me, they are not there with me anymore. But that I see as Krishna's special mercy. Now, that does not necessarily mean that it will happen to all of us, that if we are chanting, we will lose our house homes. No, it will only happen to those purest of the purest devotees, where they are completely dependent on Krishna, not on their own strength, uh, not on their own bal. So, like this, मूर्छित भइलो मन प्रलय र आगमन भवे सर्व देह जरा जरा. Like this, I'm simply getting away from the bodily concept. Koriyete upadrava. It makes so much disturbance. This holy name, when it enters my heart, it creates disturbance, transcendental disturbance. How many of us even have even feel a little bit of that? Very difficult. At least I have not felt it. That upadrava, right? So, like this, Mora dare naam premer sagare, Mora dare premer sagare. So, this is the, when I enter the ocean of love. More kichu na bujivo dilo, more the batulo kelo, and I cannot understand. And this holy name talks to me. It talks more the batulo kelo. It talks to me. Because this is a person. Abhinnatvam nam nam namino, not different from the name, but we don't have that realization. Unless and until we graduate from nam aprad to nam avas to shuddhanam, we will not feel this. But that is our ultimate goal. That is why we have to study the writings of the Acharyas. Loino ashray jan hano vyarthatar. When I take the shelter of the holy names, means I'm taking shelter of Krishna and Krishna's associates in Madhurya Rasa. Tar varnita na pari shakal, and I cannot even describe what is happening to me. Krishna naam ichha hoy, jahe jahe sukhi hoy, and it fulfills all my desires, all my transcendental desires of Radha Dasyam. And I am always very happy. Sukhi hoy. Saying mora sukhera sambha. That is the exact result of chanting the holy name. The source of my happiness is the holy name. Premera Kalikana. In Kali, this holy name gives us Krishna Prem. Adbhuta Raseradha. And not only that, not only Krishna Prem, but we describe the different types of Krishna Prem. So, Adbhuta Raseradha. So, what is that rasa? Madhurya Ras. It is the abode of Madhurya Ras. So, this holy names can give us everything. Nam Chintamani. If we want Madhurya Ras, Radha Dasya, it is capable of giving us. This is the verdict of our Acharyas. Hena bal kare prakash. Isita viksita punaha. Dekhaye nija rupa guna. And then it shows me my form. We were talking about Dekadas Bhava, the 11 symptoms, who we are in the Leela, who we are, which form, under which gopi, which dress, what seva, what our residence. So even this is capable, the holy name, because it has been given us in parampara, and if we are very sincere, the holy name can reveal all these things. Raganuga Bhakti can be revealed by the holy name as we become more and more sincere. Because the holy name is a person. It is not something, not only just sound vibration, but it is a person associating, just how we are associating in this classroom with each other. So that realization should come to us. Chitta Hari Lai Krishna Vas. And then it takes and steals me away, these holy names, and takes me to Krishna. It takes me to Lai Jai Krishna Pas. Chitta Hari Loi Krishna Pas. Purna Vikasita Hoy Braje More Jai Loya. They will take me where? When it is fully fructified, that Krishna Prem, beyond the Bhav and Prema state, and especially in the Madhurya Ras, that's my Ras, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying. Then what will it do? It will take me to Adbhuta Rasekadha. It will take me to the most Adbhut means the most amazing Rasera Dham. The most amazing rasa is Madhurya Rasa. It will take me to that Dham of Madhurya Rasa. And what is that Madhurya Rasa Dham? Vrindavan, Vrajbhumi. That is the Dham that he's talking about. Chitta Hari Loy Krishna Vas, and it takes me to Krishna. Steals my heart. Purna Vikasita Hoy Braja Moral Jai Loya. It takes me to Braj. Dekha is more Swarga Vilas, and it shows me my real form as a Manjari. Who I am in Krishna Leela. Mora Siddha Deha Daya, Krishna Pase Rakhi Giya, E Dehera Kore Sarvanas. It completely destroys his material body and takes me to the transcendental Dham of Vrindavan. Krishna Nama Chintamani, Akhila Rasera Khani. Same thing in that verse. Nama Chintamani, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Akhila Rasera Khani. It is the mind of all the rasas, which is Madhurya Rasa. Nitya Mukta Shuddha Rasamoy. And it eternally liberates me from all other concepts, including liberates me from the concepts of Mathura and Dwarka. Not only liberates me from the material conception, because that is long gone in this bhajan. In the beginning, first verse is praying like that as a normal sadhak, Vaidhi Bhakta. But that is long gone. So Krishna Nam Chintamani Akhila Rasa Khani, the ultimate mind of rasa, which is Madhurya, Nitya Mukta, it liberates me, Shuddha Rasmoy, and it gives me the purest of the purest rasa, the mellow. Namara Bali Jata, Sab Loi, Hoi Hata, Tave Mora Sukhera Uday. And then by the strength of the holy name, my real happiness, my real bliss will arise. So that's why Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is preaching to the sadhak that please hear the glories. Atava Katha Amritam Tapta Jivanam. Listen to the Amrit, the nectar of the different Leelas of Krishna. Whether they are in Bhagavad Gita in the beginning or Srimad Bhagavatam first 9 cantos. And then when we enter into the 10th canto, from Vatsalya Ras to Madhurya Ras, it's there. So it will slowly take us to that stage. Tave Mora Sukhera Uday. And then my real happiness will Uday means it will arise, right? Like Suryodaya to manifest, to happen. So then he says, as a sadhak, Gurudev or the Acharyas are teaching us how to follow the process. Sri Radhika Madhurya Rapara, Madhuri Leela, hearing different Leelas, Guna, their transcendental qualities, Rupa. And when we hear from the pure devotee, we will be fortunate enough not to, because their transcendental vibration will clean our hearts and we will not have doubts whether he's speaking on Chir Haran Leela or he's speaking on Ras Leela. Because if we are surrendered and if we have come to that state, then there will be no doubt. Vidyate Hridaya Gandhis, Chidyante Sarva Samshaya. All the doubts will be cut. Samshaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, I think first canto, second chapter. Vidyate Hridaya Gandhis. Prabhupada, when he was leaving his body, the final lesson, that video, how many of you have seen? He's speaking this verse. Vidyate Hridaya Gandhis, Chidyante Sarva, along with other verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. So all those doubts are cut into pieces. No doubt. Yeah, Krishna can do anything. He's possible and he's doing it for the pleasure of his devotees. He's doing it for the pleasure of the gopis, doing it for the pleasure of Srimati Radharani. Even if he's cheating or lying, like we heard this morning from the Chamatkar Chandrika. How he cheats even Mother Yashoda and gets the box. How he cheats Jatila, Kutila, Abhimanyu. How he even cheats Radharani for a moment. She's shocked. Like, how can you even come in my house? That too in my inner chamber, in my husband's house. My mother-in-law and my sister-in-law just outside. My husband is outside and you are here in my room, in my bedroom. What is this? So this is all possible. We have to have that faith. Janma karma cha me divyam. Not ordinary activities. That is also a Rasik verse in one sense. And in Vraj, everything he does is Divya. Although even is crying for milk, that is also Divya. And lifting the Govardhan mountain is also Divya. And also cheating, stealing butter is Divya. Cheating the elderlies to run to Srimati Radharani, that is also Divya. But how we will understand when we hear from a pure devotee's mouth? Otherwise, all those people hearing Bhagavad Katha, they also speak from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, Panchara Maharasadhyaya. But their only goal is to collect money and fame. They are not realized. So what they can give to the public? Only entertainment. Most of the Bhagavad Kathas are music, poor jokes, filmy tune, bhajans, and simply fanning the ego of those who are sponsoring or sitting in the sofa in the front. Are, he's such a nice devotee. He has sponsored 10,000 people. He has sponsored the hall. All this maskabaji they will do. Simply fanning the ego. But they will not say no. If they say speak, like Prabhupada was requested by the Birla family. You know Birlas in India? They are like the topmost at that time, the most richest family in India. Like we have in United States or in Europe, like we find Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, Microsoft, Bill Gates. So one of the biggest industrialists. So when Prabhupada was invited, they are also very pious. A lot of temple in India, all over India, they have Birla Mandir. Pious people. But they are not qualified enough to hear. When Prabhupada went to their home, they were requested him. So he came. So the family privately had darshan with Prabhupada. So they said, Prabhupada, can you speak on Ras Leela? So Prabhupada said, you may be qualified to hear, but I am not qualified to speak. So it is the other way around. So how nicely Prabhupada, without hurting their sentiments, I am not qualified to speak. You may be qualified to hear. So this is very important. Commercial speakers, it's a no-no. They don't even understand the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Dharma prochita kaitavatra parmu nirvisaranam sara. 1.1.2, which I explained, is the actual first verse. Om Janmadiyasya is the Mangalacharya. So they don't even a cheating religion. When in exchange of Bhagavatam, you are collecting money, fame, and with that money you are simply doing sense gratification, buying homes in America, flying first class, doing Bhagavad Katha on cruise ships. What kind of Bhagavad Katha is that? Where did Bhagavad Katha is heard? It is heard like Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj on the banks of the Ganga, without consideration of food, water, anything like that. Of course, we are not that kind of Jews, but at least we should have some standard. And we can only recognize such those kathakars that are commercial if we read Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada is our yardstick. I say Prabhupada is making all of us jewelers. You understand jeweler? Somebody who has a jewelry shop and you go to him and I want to sell this ring. So he will look at it, test it with some chemical. I can only give you 200 rupees. This is not real gold. This is copper. And on top of that, it is gold plated. But an ordinary person, if you give them a piece of glass that looks like their Swarovski, you know Swarovski? Everything in their shop looks like real diamonds. They shine so nice. But if you give it to a real jeweler, you will see, this is not even worth $200. If we are thinking we will get $20,000 for this beautiful big diamond. So we have to become jewelers. And it's a good thing that those who are studying all these courses, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedant, etc., that will make us good jewelers. But in the proper mood, I again and again say, we should get more and more attracted to Krishna and more humble. And our service attitude should increase. Otherwise, we are become jnanis. And then that verse will be thrown at us. Pantastu koti satvatsar sampragambyo vayar athavi manaso muni punvana swapi asta prabhata simni achitya tatve govinda mahadhi purusha tamam jami vedeshu durlabam adurlabam atma. In spite of getting all the verses under our belt, studying so many Vedas, but if it does not attract humility and the attention of Krishna, then it is Shrama eva hi kevalam, waste of time. Shrama, certainly. Eva means certainly. Shrama eva hi kevalam. So this is something for all of us to learn. Always be on our guard. Be very humble. Learn and then become good jewelers so that we can teach others to become good jewelers. One can only become a good jeweler by learning from a real jeweler. Right? Then he will teach us that, oh, this is a real diamond. 4 C's. Color, clarity, carat. And what is the fourth one? I forgot. I used to be in the jewelry business. Color, clarity, carat, and there's a fourth one. It's been many years now. So that is the definition of why a diamond has got a value depending on the color of the diamond. If the diamond is pinkish in color, it has got a pink, or then it is more valuable. Color, clarity, without any inclusions. Most of the diamonds that most people can afford nowadays is there's this slight inclusion, dag, jisko bolte hain. We cannot see it with our naked eye. And we have to trust the jeweler who is telling us. If he says this is without dag and this is 10 lakh rupees, and with the dag, different kinds of dag, small inclusions, little large inclusion, but the naked eye cannot see. And even with the magnifying glass, we cannot know, but they know. Immediately they said the value, same size, same carat, same weight, but this has got dag, inclusions. So the value is less. But the one that is completely without any inclusions is very expensive. And more bigger, the more expensive. Like the English, they stole our Kohinoor. That was the biggest diamond and the most expensive. Actually, even they stole the chibuk of Srinathji. Aurangzeb, the diamond that is there on his chin, he was so vicious. He wanted to put it on his crown. Nadwara, Srinathji, of course, now they have real diamond on his chin, but that was like amazing quality that Aurangzeb had stolen. And later on, his fall down happened very badly. His own son killed him, put him in the jail. He suffered in the jail like anything. He died like a worm. So, when somebody commits such offenses, the whole dynasty is finished. The Mughal dynasty got finished. So, like this, it is there. So, and then how we should, the Acharya describes the Radhika Madhavya Rapara Madhurya Leela, how he describes the gunas, how he describes the Nam, how Guna Rupa Namna Pratishanasva Dhanalulupasya. There is an amazing quality with great greed. That greed has to be there. Even when they are preaching, like his Nitya Krishna, Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, those who have heard his lectures and how he was preaching, so much greed. You understand? And Prabhupada said, you try to understand. Just try to understand. Non-stop preaching, because they have greed. Greed in preaching the guna qualities, transcendental qualities, rupa, the beauty. What is Srila Prabhupada's books, his Bhaktivedanta purports? That is all greed of Srila Prabhupada. Transcendental greed. Do you and I have that capacity to translate 18,000 verses from Sanskrit and then giving Bhaktivedanta purports for 99% of the verses? Why? That only can happen those who have greed. Transcendental greed. Everybody has greed. For material things, we have so much greed. Somebody says, I will give you a job that is going to pay you 10 times more. Immediately, without notice, we will leave and say, goodbye, we are joining that company. Greed. Even our servants at home, we have seen in our childhood that our 20-year-old servant who used to come every day and the next door neighbor lost their servant. They said, "Tumko kitna pagar deta hai ye log? How much they are paying you? I will pay you 1,000 rupees more." So that servant who has worked 25 years has been treated like a family member. Out of greed, goes to the neighbor. So that greed quality is there. Why? All these qualities that are apparently very bad are because they are existing in the spiritual world. If there is object, then there is shadow. You see the shadow of my hand? Because the hand is existing, the shadow is existing. So because all this greed is there in the spiritual world, jealousy is there in the spiritual world, right? Uh, thievery is there in the spiritual world. All those qualities that are considered bad here, they are there. But the difference is those are all transcendental. Transcendental thief, transcendental jealousy, transcendental this, transcendental that, transcendental greed. But here, when we have greed, it is for myself, for my sense gratification. If a thief is stealing, he's doing it for his sense gratification. Right? Even when Robin Hood was stealing and distributing the money to the poor, it was his pratishtha. He was well known so that he was a philanthropist. But that, Prabhupada said, it is simply ism, philanthropism, socialism, that is all on the material platform. None of that will compare to the spiritual Krishna consciousness that our Acharyas teach us or they give us out of compassion. So, all these qualities are there in the spiritual world, they are the real object, and here the perverted reflection for our own sense gratification. People are stealing, people are lying, people are greedy, kam, krodh, moh, matsarya. They are also there in the spiritual world, but they are transcendental in every aspect. So we have to understand that part. So Pratishana, so every moment with great greed, they are describing the Guna Rupa Nam of Krishna. And Krishna means Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's associates, and that includes all the Vrajavasis, especially because our Acharyas in the Madhurya's, they are describing what we described a little bit this morning session from Chamatkara Chandrika, that with so much greed, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has described in these books with Sanskrit verses every detail about the Madhurya pastimes. So Rupa Goswami says that Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati Bhakti Rasam Sindhu Kriyatam Yadi Kuto Api Labhyate Tatra Lolyam Api Mulyam Ekalam Janma Koti Sukriti Labhyate. A very important verse in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu. What does that mean? That pure devotional service to Krishna or in Krishna consciousness cannot be had even by pious activity for many, many births. No matter how much pious activities we do, we cannot get pure devotional service with that. So then what is the qualification of pure devotional service? It can be attained only by paying one price. Tatra lolyam api mulyam ekam. What is that lolyam? Greed. So we should have that greed. We described that when we reach after Anartha Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, at that time we get that lolyam, real lolyam for Raganuga Bhakti. Yes, I want to enter into Raganuga Bhakti. Yes, I would like to enter those pastimes that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Raghunath Das Goswami and Rupa Goswami are describing, that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is describing. Whether it is who is cooking, what bhoga for Krishna, what is in his plate in the bhoga arti, to what kind of mischief Krishna is playing, to meet Srimati Radharani, all kinds of cheating and everything. So all this is there. That is called lolyam. When we develop that greed. Greed is very important. We need to first develop a greed. How I can chant better. How I can hear the sound vibration better. How I can follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada and our sincere followers of Srila Prabhupada better. If we are satisfied, then we are finished. Srila Prabhupada said that Krishna consciousness is dynamic, it is not stagnant. So the moment we feel stagnant and we think, I have got Bhakti Shastri, I finished Bhakti Vaibhav, I finished Bhakti Vedanta, I can speak on so many Krishna conscious subjects, patting our own back, finished. Then we become total jnanis. That bhav will never come. Braj will never reveal itself to us. That is why, for example, this is a perfect example for all of us. What does Lord Shiva say? Vyas veti na veti. Sukho veti aham veti. Vyas veti na veti. Sukadeva Goswami has understood Srimad Bhagavatam properly. I have understood Srimad Bhagavatam properly. Lord Shiva is saying. But Vyas veti na veti, there is no guarantee. Although Vyasdeva has compiled all this is there in Vyasdeva's books. But whether he has understood or not understood, I'm not sure. Lord Shiva says. Because there is no incarnation of Vyasadeva in Vrindavan. See? Like Bhishmadev, he ultimately went to where? Dwarka, after he left his body. But he is speaking in his Bhishma Stava, first canto, 9th chapter. I forget the verse, exact verse, but he's saying that how the gopis in Vrindavan, right? He has information about that. So similarly, we can have all this information, but what are we going to do if that Ragana Bhakti doesn't arise in our hearts? Theoretically, we can collect this information because we may have some lobha to become jnanis. But we have to have lobha, as per Rupa Goswami, to become pure devotees. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita. So that Krishna Bhakti Rasa, we have to have lobha for that. So like this, it's very important that lobha arises, and that lobha can only arise when we associate with such like-minded devotees who have lobha. If we are associating with devotees who are satisfied, then we are not going to improve. I'll tell you one personal case here. In my childhood, I used to play chess. I played you're from Russia? Yeah? So I used to even read Russian, just the notation. I then played on the state level, I played on the national level, and I even went to the world championship, open world championship that happened in 1988 in Montreal. No, in St. John, New Brunswick, New Brunswick. So we had the opportunity to even play with Boris Spassky. You know that name? Oh, you're Russian and you don't know Boris Spassky. I met even Kasparov there, but Boris Spassky was much senior to Karpov and Kasparov. He was one of the major. He fought with, and Bobby Fischer was the first American who had won the world championship. Otherwise, Russians have dominated the chess world. And originally, where the chess was originated in India. Krishna used to play chess. Krishna played chess, and that was the, now it changed to the different permutation. It was called Chaturanga. That was the game, or Chaupat. That's what Radharani and Krishna and the gopis played. And always Radharani would defeat Krishna.
What was that?
That was also Chaupat, but with dice. That is also Chaupat. And that is gambling. That is, even Krishna gambled, by the way, but we cannot. They always gambled. Especially Radharani, Krishna, and the gopis, they used to say, throw the dice, and they would move. Even now in Pushtiman, after Shringar Darshan, they put the Chaupat in front with the dice and everything, so that Krishna will play dice. So that is very high ras. Here it is perverted. Here we want to defeat somebody and get joy. But in Krishna being defeated by Radharani, he gets joy. See, here when we are gambling, we are taking somebody else's money, those who have lost, and we are happy. Right? But it's the other way around in the transcendental world. Krishna sometimes deliberately loses so he can see the joy in Radharani's face. And then all the gopis will tease. See, I told you, our Radharani is far superior to you. Now you acknowledge. So now you should bow down to her. You lost. So they would used to make even wagers. Wager means, you understand? In English it's called wager, means what is the bet? The bet. So sometimes when they bet, say, okay, I bet 500 rupees. As an example, that is the wager. 500 rupees is called the wager. But what are the wagers of Krishna? If you all lose, then you will have to kiss me and embrace me. And if I lose, I will also kiss you and embrace you. See? That is the way. Like, in the first pastime that I mentioned today in the morning from Chamatkar Chandrika, that okay, you gopis decide now that she sent her husband to get me and bring me in the room, and now she's blaming me. You decide. If you all decide that I am the loser, then I will be punished. And what is my punishment? I will stay here 3 days with Radharani. Because Radharani is so sometimes very strong in her words. Like just now, she accused me that I stole all the jewels, and she used the words, "There is one wicked thief who stole all the jewels that Mother Yashoda sent, and now he came here instead in the box. That thief has come here." So that is the rasa in Vraj. It is not straightforward. It is everything. Opposite means everything what they say, the opposite is truthful. And that is poetry. That is very, very deep poetry. Opposite meaning. Like that. That is the Vrajras. That we will not find anywhere else. Everywhere else straightforward. Ramchandra Bhagavan, straightforward stutis. Nobody will say that, oh, you are so cruel. Or no, you are so kind that you even took Sita in the forest. Not like that. Nobody will even dare say that because it is sarcasm. But if somebody tells Krishna that, he understands what they are saying. At the same time, it sounds very polite, but it is the most cruel message that they are sending. That is the rasa, especially in Madhurya rasa. In Vatsalya and all, there is not such rasa. There is not such criticism or kataksh or what we call sarcasm. Not there. Only in Madhurya rasa you will find that. Every moment it is like that. What is that sarcasm I mentioned in the Gopi Gita? Nandano Bhavan. In what is that verse? Akila Dehinam Nandano Bhavan. Something like that, no? Antaratmadrik. So then the straightforward meaning is the gopis are saying that you are born of Nanda Maharaj. That's one meaning. But internally the gopis are saying the internal meaning, you are not born of Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj is very soft-hearted. He will never treat anybody in Vraj like that, the way you are treating us. Tava Katha Amritam means your nectar of your pastimes. When we hear your pastimes, it is nectar. But there is another deeper meaning. And when we hear your pastimes, it brings us death to us. Every moment in separation, when you are not there, we are feeling like dying. Tava Katha Amritam. They segregate the word, Acharyas, and make the word mritya separate. So many double meanings are there. Akhila Dehina Mantaratmadrik in Gopi Gita. What does that mean? That normal translation is that you are the soul in everybody's heart, Paramatma. But we know that the gopis are not cognizant that he is Bhagavan or is Paramatma. What does he mean? That you know that you are within our hearts. Then why you are troubling us? Just like a crude example, there's a poor mother and the child is saying, mother, I need that toy, and the toy is very expensive. So mother says, you already know we are very poor, we cannot afford it. Right? The parents sometimes make that statement, no? So similarly, Akhila Dehina Mantaratmadri. Akhila Dehina, within this body you are present in our hearts, so you should know how we feel. Please come back, O Krishna, don't make us suffer. So like that, Madhurya Rasa is full of sarcasm. And that sarcasm is what Krishna really loves. He really loves them more than the hymns of the Vedas, more than what the best of the Panditas who are well versed with the Shastra. They know much better. Krishna loves that better. So that is Pradishanasva Dhananulukasya Vande Guru Hosmi Charana Ravindam. Now we enter into the 6th verse. Nikunja Yuno Ratikeli Siddha Yaya Alivir Yuktir Apekshaniya Tatra Ati Daksha Ati Vallavasya Vande Guru Shri Charana Ravindam. So this is also a very, very important verse that gives us good sight if we really understand who our acharyas are. So Nikunja, Nikunj means the bowers of Vrindavan. I had explained that. Just like we have so many trees here. And who was telling me the other day, I think Rajan Prabhu was telling me, Radhanath Maharaj loves when creepers grow over the arches. So it provides shade. He was mentioning that. So when too many trees come together, they make a room, especially if you've gone to Nidhivan. So they all interlock, the branches, the trees, and they make a natural room that is called Nikunja.
Golden.
Yes, lot of trees are like that today. Yes.
The leaves. The mukta tree or something, sharp leaves kind of,
Uh-huh.
and they just
Even in Dharwan,
yeah.
in Barsana.
So they just the branches comes down like people is hanging down.
No. So they naturally form a room. Just like we have a roof, we have the sides, and it protects us from the sun. It gives us very nice, wonderful, soothing effect. And it is especially very soothing for romance. Huh? Very, very.
In Govardhan, they are distinctly visible.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, very distinctly visible. Very true. While we are going towards Anior, and then again after Anior, going towards Govindkund and all those areas, we can see them. You're right. Even after Jatipura, they are there. Throughout Govardhan, most of the places. So, Nikunja, that is why, because they are both in palaces in one sense. When she was in Barsana, she is in a big palace, Vrishabhanupur, a big palace. Nandavavan is also like a huge palace. But they relish the most because there they cannot meet each other really unless they have been, then Krishna cheats like this morning we heard. But then uh, the other Manjaris and all the other gopis have to relish also. What is that Bhaktivinoda Thakurji is saying in that bhajan? Gopinath Mama Nivedana Sanam. Ashiya Prapancha Jivara Karane Leela Koile Shubhista. You come and perform all these amazing pastimes. Leela Koile Shubhista, that are most auspicious. Ashiya Prapancha Jivara Karane. You come for the different jivas. You come for the different, to give them pleasure. Paritranam sadhunam vinashati duskrita. The paritranam sadhunam is to give pleasure to the sadhus. Actually, his Maya is sufficient to finish all the demons. He doesn't have to personally come. But why he comes, his main purpose is to give association and pleasure to his devotees. So any incarnation of the Lord, generally it is like that. When even during the Namkaran Sanskar, the name giving ceremony of Lord Rama, King Dashrath said that what will be the name? He asked Vasishtha Muni, what is the name of my firstborn son? So he says, we will name him Ram. Ram means one who will give pleasure to his devotees. So Ram gave one of the reasons, not just that it was just some accident, that Mother Kaikai had taken those boons that during the Devasur Sangram she had taken from King Dashrath, right? That when the time comes, I will take the boons from you, O Dashrath. So the time came because Mantra poisoned the ears, but that is not actually poisoning. That was setting the stage. If you look at it from the higher perspective, setting the stage of Lord Ramachandra visiting the forest and giving darshan to the various devotees. Because if Mother Kaikai had not asked for her boons, and if she had not, one of the boons was that banished Ramchandra to the forest, right? So if that was not there, then how would the saintly personalities from so many places, Tapovan, Panchvati, Rameshwaram, from north to south, he had gone on Padayatra, right? So that is the main reason, is because all those devotees were longing to see Lord Ramachandra. So Mother Kaikai facilitated that. Some just like think that Kaikai is bad. No, actually there is a conversation between Lord Ramachandra and Kaikai. And Mother, the time has come for those three boons. Actually, it is through mantra he reminded her. But Lord Ramachandra, who is the all cognizant, he knew about it. So, Mother, please do the needful. You are so kind. If I ask Kausalya Mata to do anything like that, she will not do it. Sumitra Mata will not do it. But you are capable of doing, and you have the right opportunity because my father had given you these boons and you had taken a rain check. You had taken that I will take it when the time comes. So Mother Kaika is not bad. In fact, she is in a very high transferable position depending on how the devotee views it. So a lot of them consider as a bad. They even consider mantra as bad. No. It's all amazing direction of the will of the Lord. So that, and the ultimate goal is to fulfill the desires of his devotees. So many rishis, they sat in penance for thousands of years so that they will have darshan of Lord Ram. So many of them, like Ahilya was waiting as a rock just to be delivered from the touch of Lord Ramachandra's toe. Right? Shabri was waiting. She was very young when she had joined her guru's ashram, Matak Muni. And Matak Muni was so pleased with Shabri that he said that, one day the Lord will come. You simply keep cleaning the path. And she had served her guru so nicely. Guru wound up his pastimes. The ashram, the only person left was Shabri. And she, from a very young girl, had grown very old. And every day she was cleaning the path, waiting that my Lord Ram will come. My Lord Ram will come. And finally he came. So Ashya Prapanche Jivara Karane Leela Kailasha Vistar. For us, Leela Kailasha Vistar means the Leela in Vraj and the Leela in Madhurya Rasa. He does so many wonderful pastimes in Vraj. Leela Kailasha Vistar. So Nikunja, Rati Keli Siddha. So the worship of Radha Krishna, the Manjaris, they especially, and the gopis also mainly, are waiting for the union, the meeting of Radha and Krishna. We pray to Vrinda Devi every day in the Tulsi Puja. Morae Abhilash, Vilas Kunja Diyovas, Nayane Rivo Sada, Jugala Ruparasi, Ei Nivedana Dharo, Sakhiranugata Karo, Sevayadhikaro Diye, Karo Nijadasi. Make me your maid servant, O Tulsi Devi, O Vrinda Devi.
Just want to excite the speaker because they have some issue with the speaker. So can we do it in 1 minute?
No, you can take the speaker. If that speaker has an issue, then what am I going to do?
No. This works, but
Ah.
they want the output of the speaker, so that is not.
Yeah, go ahead, do it. No problem. Yeah. So, am I audible? Yeah. You can call it my strength or weakness. When I get interrupted, my flow goes away.
No, sorry.
I have a certain flow that keeps coming in. So all these things should be done before. We have a perfect sadhu here in the form of Radhanath Swami. What do we learn? Everything is perfect. Every detail he works out. So we should be careful. If there was another program in the other room, then whoever is responsible for that seva, we should make sure that everything is working nicely. For the pleasure of others, one should not disturb others.
Start.
Hare Krishna.
Increase the volume.
Hare Krishna. You have to increase the volume. Are you in charge
No.
of the sound system and everything? Well, whoever is in charge, you should convey that. Okay. Now this is not good enough. Turn it up.
More. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Sorry, you are the messenger, so you got caught in this.
No.
One thing about our movement, sometimes I find, I travel quite a bit. We take very complacency. हो जाएगा, चल जाएगा. No. We should be very careful. Because Hari Katha, Hari Naam, Hari Leela, they are Sri Hari. We have to have that conviction. Whatever our seva is, it should be perfect. Try our best. It's a different story that suddenly something stopped. The next program, if it was going to start, Maharaj's Vyas Puja, then whoever is in charge should be perfectly checking everything, testing everything, if everything is working or not. Right? Makes sense? So, just as a side note, that that is Vaishnavism. Vaishnava means perfect, Prabhupada said perfect gentleman. Not that last minute we are running here and there. Even in Vrindavan, I saw when Maharaj was giving Katha, they had an issue with the sound system. Yeah, very bad issue. Even Panchamoda Prabhu was very, very upset. He went to the sound room and said, "What is this? This last minute." Even in the morning, on Prabhupada's disappearance day, in the Samadhi, Prabhupada sings Samsara Dhavana. We put his name. And it was horrible. The voice was coming, it was going, it was coming, it was going. Second time in a row that happened. So the point is that, we want Krishna Prem, we want Ragama Bhakti, but we want what Right now this verse is coming. Nikunja, Rati Keli Siddhai, that perfection. If we cannot even get perfected in our normal chores, normal seva, how will we get perfection in the Nikunja? Not possible to enter. We may study as much Bhagavad Gita as we want, study as much Shastras we want, but if the basic principle of consciousness, that's what Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness means that includes everything about Krishna, whether it is his cooking, his singing, whether we are appreciating Krishna in a class, that everything should be, and we will very nice. I'm glad that this thing happened because then it will enhance this class of a little bit more. And our understanding of the verse, Nikunja, Rati Keli Siddhai. So in the Nikunja, in the bowers of Vrindavan, different Nikunjas, there are millions of Nikunjas, not one. If there are millions of Nakshat Pradeshu, right? What is that? A Kalpa Vriksha. If there's thousands and thousands, there are thousands and thousands of rooms also, where Radha and Krishna perform their pastimes, especially the Madhurya Ras, because it is done in secrecy. Not even in Raj, those who are in Vatsalya Ras, Dasya Ras, like Chitrak Matrak, Sakya Ras, like most of the Sakhas, and Vatsalya Ras, they are not permitted in the Nikunja. As an example, I was given to understand because I was born in the Pushti Sampradaya. They said that in front of Srinathji, if you see steps, like we have steps, right, going to Radha Madan Mohan, if you carefully observe, that is called Dandalaya Seva. Dandalaya Seva means in Dand Bhavan. So that is Vatsalya Ras Seva. And if there is no steps, that is Nikunja Seva. Because in Nikunja you don't need steps. So there are some Vaishnavas under the guidance of Sri Vallabhacharya I had mentioned. 98% are Vatsalya, 2% are Madhurya. Because Sri Vallabhacharya was a student of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was a Gaudiya Vaishnava prior. And of course he is also Swamini, an incarnation of Srimati Radharani herself. What is interesting is there is a temple in Nai Gokul, they say, which again they have divided into New Gokul and Purani Gokul. They have divided that in Mahavan. So Nai Gokul is all Vallabh Sampradaya temples. Have you visited Nai Gokul? No, Old Gokul is where there is Chaurasi Khamba, where there is the Dam Bandhan, the Ukkala, that stone is there. That is Purani Gokul. No, that new Gokul,
Yeah.
Generally ISKCON devotees don't go there.
We went separate.
You did go separately, okay. So Nai Gokul is just on the other side between the Jamna and Raskhan Samadhi. That's where Nai Gokul is. And that's the town or the place where Sri Vallabhacharya resided and his sons resided. And actually it is said that when Vasudeva came from Mathura, he stepped there at Thakurani Ghat, the ghat where Mother Yashoda used to take a bath. Even today there is Thakurani Ghat, there is Swamini Ghat, there are different Go Ghat, there are so many different ghats in Gokul. Brahman Ghat, Chintaran Ghat, Chintaran Ghat being the last one in Gokul. So there, what is interesting is Sri Vallabhacharya had 7 sons. The second son was the most prominent, who carried forward the torch. He was the torch bearer of the Vallabh Sampradaya. And he was also in Madhurya Rasa himself. The father also in Madhurya Rasa. And few other very close-knit devotees in their group, just like in Srivasangan, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed his secret and sweet pastimes, which was not accessible to all Mayapur and Nardipvasis. And that was Mahaprakash, Vraj Vilas, Vraj Bihari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became Vraj Bihari there. And he displayed and revealed so many different pastimes of Vrindavan in Nikunja. Nikunja, Rati Keli Siddhai. So there it is interesting, just as a side note, that Sri Vallabhacharya's second son, Vitranath ji, very well known, lovingly called by the Vallavi Vaishnavas, Gosai ji. He is known as Gosai ji. So basically Goswami, but Gosai ji. That is in Vraj Bhasha. Gosai. But we even have that in one of our Bengali bhajans. Dayaguru Sitapati Advaita Gosai. Right? But actually it's Goswami, but Gosai. So Gosai ji. So Gosai ji, there's a temple there called known as the Gokulnath ji temple in name Gokul. Whereas today even the deities of Sri Vallabhacharya are worshipped. And even his Baitak is there, sitting place. And even his son's sitting place is there. Gosai ji's sitting place. So in the Gokulnath ji temple, there is Gokulnath ji, the deity, the Nath of Gokul, is in the center. And just like in most of our temples, Radha Madan Mohan, on one side Srimati Radharani, left side, right side, Lalita ji. Right? In Gopinath ji, left side, Ananga Manjari, right side, Radharani. So Krishna is flanked by both. So here what is interesting in their Sampradaya is most amazing, interesting. It is the bhav of Ras Leela with Gokulnath ji. Because on the left is Sri Vallabhacharya, who is Radharani Swarup, and on the right, Gosai ji is Chandravali Swarup. So Chandravali and Radharani both together, and that only happens in Ras Leela, where Krishna invited all the gopis, just not the Swapaksha gopis. All the gopis of all the four divisions were present in Ras Leela to satisfy all of them. They were all present in Ras Leela. So, Nikunja, Rati ke liye siddha hai. Those manjaris in their internal bhav, they are manjaris and they are serving under the guidance of the gopis. Yaya Alibhir. Alibhir means the gopis, like Lalita, Vishaka, Tunga Vidya, Sudevi, Rangdevi, Chitra, etc. So, some manjaris are under Lalita, some manjaris are under Vishakha, some manjaris are under Tunga Vidya, like that. But predominantly Lalita, Vishakha, and under Lalita especially is Rupa Manjari. She is the chief. So, and then she distributes the seva. So, in this verse we find that Yukunja, Rati Keli. Rati means the amorous pastimes. Siddhe, they have obtained that perfection of seva. Coming to the word seva, excuse me. Did I get my medicine this morning? Sorry about that. What is that siddhi in seva? I had heard this many years ago, that the siddhi in seva is, and I wish that you all will make a note of this and take it in your hearts. The definition of true seva is when the recipient of the seva is satisfied, not the renderer of the seva. Again, I will repeat it. If you want, you can write these words, because I remembered this and I kind of memorized it and I try to share this. True seva's definition is when the recipient of the seva is fully satisfied, not the renderer. Not necessarily the renderer of the seva may be satisfied. So in that connection, in one bhajan, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Tomara seva jadi dukha yadi hoy, shehi to parama sukha. Right? I think it is in Atmanivedan Tumapade Kori, in that bhajan. In your service, Bhaktivinoda Thakur ji says, Tomara seva yadi. In case when I am serving you, Tomara seva yadi, kashta yadi ho, even if I have to go through a lot of difficulty. But I will consider that as parama sukha. Tomara seva yadi, kashta yadi hoy, shehi to parama sukha. So now what we see generally when we are all on the Kanishta platform, we pick and choose our seva. When somebody tells us, do this, we say, Prabhu, can I do this? We immediately have that tendency. Or even if we don't say anything, inside we are thinking, why he gave me this seva? I can do that better. So the recipient of the seva, of the seva is up there, Anukulina Krishna. That is the most important thing, that principal factor. Whether I am happy or not, it's a different story. But naturally, if it is done with pure love, as a byproduct, we will 100% become happy. But because it is not done with a full heart, we will never be happy. And then we are thinking that, why should I wash the pots? Why should I wash the pan? I am a PhD. I should do something else. As a matter of fact, Bhakti-Siddhanta Prabhupada ji used to, through this example, when some scholarly person came to him and approached him and asked him some scholarly questions, he would say, and he would ask those questions. He didn't answer them. He said, "Go assist the pot washer in the kitchen." Huh? Madan Mohan Malviya. Thank you. He said, "Go and help the pot washer." So that will, if that person genuinely accepts that instruction and seva to heart, then he will become humble. And then whatever is said, they will be able to understand. Then Raganuga Bhakti is easy to understand. The pastimes of Krishna are easy to understand. Without humility, it's not possible to understand. With scholarship, it's not possible to understand these things. Then we will end up as Gyanis or Mayavadis. At worst, we can become Mayavadis. Because that's what we are looking for. We don't want to serve Mayavadi, Krishna Aparadi. Mayavadi is sabse bada kamchor. Why? Because I am God, you are God, you are God, you are God. We are all equal. Why I should serve you? Why you should serve me? Simple logic. If we are all one, that inferiority and superiority is there, then the service will come. But in Raj, that inferiority superiority are not there. It may look like the Mayavadi concept because even Krishna serves the devotees. Krishna serves Nanda Maharaj by carrying his paduka. Like that we find. But normally speaking, even in the realm of bhakti, when we have ahankar and we don't want to serve, then there is a problem. We will never become humble. That's why I keep on telling that, yeah, study all the shastra we want, but we should be very humble. That if we want to study one verse of the shastra is Trinadapi Sunicha. Tarayiva Srishna Amanina Manya. Mahaprabhu said, wear it like a garland. We can wear all the other garlands, 18,000 garlands of Srimad Bhagavatam. But if we don't have Trinadapi Sunichena, then we will become Gyanis. Simply. Therefore, Vyasa Vettila Vedi, he has some platform of Gyan. Even though Narji graced him, showed his kripa. But Shivji, Vaishnava Shambhu says, his son has understood Srimad Bhagavatam. But whether Vyasa has understood or not understood, I am not sure. I have understood Bhagavatam. So, Vedesha Durlava Adurva Bhagavatam. So, Nukunja, Rati Kelis there, Rati, the amorous pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Not everybody can understand. Seva is another thing that without saying, automatically, when the servant or the sevak or the maid servant or the sevika does those tasks, without even asking, Radharani doesn't have to ask something of them. That is why the manjaris are sent in the Nikunja. They even know seva better than the Lalita and Vishaka. Therefore, the Nikunja, Rati Keli Siddhai, they have attained that perfection. Rati Keli means in the Madhurya Rasa of Radha and Krishna, thus, their Madhurya pastimes, they are the most expert. Rati Keli Siddhai. They have understood. Even the eyebrow movement of Srimati Radharani or even the eyebrow movement of Krishna, what he needs. Just like sometimes if we see husband and wife in the same house, there are so many people in the room, but just one little ishara, one just little indication, and without words, they understand each other. A crude example, right? So the Manjaris fully understand that. Sri Chaitanya Manoabhishtam is one meaning of Rati Keli Siddhya. Rup Goswami has understood the heart, the inner core heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Radha Govind, right? So when they have understood the heart, then they have attained that Siddhi. Rati Keli Siddhya. Yaya Alivir Yukti Apekshaniya. And they are always taking permission and guidance, although they know everything. And what say? Yaya Alivir means the different gopis like Lalita Vishaka, the Ashtasakis. or their Priya Narva Sakhis. They're always apekshaniya. They're always desiring, what more can I do? What more seva? One seva is not finished yet, and immediately they run to Lalita. Hey Lalite, hey Rupa Manjari, tell us. So therefore they are called Kimkaris. Kim means what and Kari means do. So what should I do? What should I do? Here we find in our Kanishta Avastha, we are told that you are simply going to put this table here, this chair here. We will do that. But if something has fallen down, we will not pick it up because that is not my business. We are Lakir ka Fakir. There is one quick story that comes to my mind that there was one big boss. He had a big mansion and a big garden. So he had 3 gardeners. So he told the first gardener, now we told all 3 of them, we are going to plant some new trees. So, you all three of them make a team. First one of you dig a hole. Second one, you put the seed or the sapling, the plant. And the third one, you cover it with the mud. Now the middle one went for the call of nature. So first one started digging and the third one started putting mud on the hole. So that is called Lakir ka Fakir. So we do only what we are told. Without the extra sentiment of how we should be really satisfying our superiors, how we should be satisfying. Eventually, our superiors will be the Manjaris. Srila Prabhupada is Manjari, whom we don't know who he is. Nayana Manjari, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Rupa Manjari, Lavanga Manjari, Vilas Manjari, Vinod Manjari, Champaklata Manjari, Kasturi Manjari. He will be assisting them. So, Siddha, what is that Siddhi? In Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is Nayan Manjari, his Siddhi is to apply his advice to apply altar to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Rupa Goswami or Rupa Manjari says, go ahead, now decorate her. Start with the lotus feet. And then he makes the red altar and applies it very on the very soft lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. That is Siddhi. Radhikali Siddhi. Yaya Alivir Yukti Rapekshare. And they are constantly asking to be engaged. Yukti means Yukta. Yukta means to be engaged. Please engage me. Please engage me. Please engage me. Constantly. That engagement is there. Therefore, they are known as Kimkaris. In Gopinath Mama Nivedana Suno, but Bhaktivinoda Thakur ji uses those words. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He says, Tomara Kim Karo Yami Gopinath Mama Nivedana Suno. So I am your Kimkari, very special servant, always enthusiastic. What can I do next? What seva can I do next? What seva can I do next? So Rupa Manjari or Lalita, to the younger, most younger Manjaris will tap on the cheek. Acha, Baba, ye karke la, jaldi, quickly. Aarti is going to happen now. Collect the best flowers. Ja, jaldi, and they pat her on the back. With so much love. Just like how we give shabash to the little kids. Well done. So when they do a wonderful job, Lalita, Vishakha, Rupa Manjari, they give her a nice pat on the cheek, a peck on the cheek, or on the head. Well done, or go, it's late. Come on, ready, we have to do. We are ready to send Radha Krishna home now. It is already Nishan Bhanga Leela. They should not get caught in Yavat or in Dang Bhavan. Let's get ready, make them perfectly ready, like they were when they left their homes. So now we have to perform the Arti, Mangal Arti, and explain the meaning. Were you there? The meaning of Mangal Arti? Yeah? So that is what it is. So there's the whole team of Manjaris working very hard to decorate Radharani, to decorate Radha Krishna for their special needs. Pratikiri Siddhe. And only they can do that in the Nikuja. Lalita, Vishakha and the other Ashtasakis have to go out, especially when there is a very intimate moment where with their presence, that intimate moment can be inhibited or it can be broken. So the Manjaris are left to serve them. Yaya Libir Yukti Rapekshaniya Tatra Ati Daksha Ati Vallavasya Vande Guru Shri Charnaravindam. Ratikeli means the amorous pastimes. They understand perfectly when Radharani is indicating something. If she even the tear drops, because her heart feels what Radharani feels, they understand why she is crying. That is called Ratikeli Siddhi. What is that? Bhakti Vinod Thakurji says in that bhajan of Ekadashi. Gaur Amaras Jai Sabsthane Korala Brahman Range Sei Sabsthana Herivo Ami Pranay Bhakata Sangi. Pranay and Rati Keli. Same. Meaning I will go to different places I will visit where the wonderful pastimes of Radha and Krishna took place in Braj with those devotees who have understood the amorous pastimes, those who are in Raganuga Bhakti, not those who just want 500 rupees just like a tourist and show you like the pandas. No, we have to go with those who are really into the Leela, who understand the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. I will go with them. So Rati Keli Siddhe, Yaya Livir, taking permissions from the gopis. Same Shabda is used in Radha Govinda, which is Pranam Mantra. What is that word? When we take that, when we recite it, Sriman, no, not Nashri, that is Gopinath. Divya Vrindaranya Kalpa Durmat Srimad Ratnangada Simasana Sri Shri Radha Govinda Prestha Livir. Alivir means those who are very dear to the gopis. Sevya Manos Parami. I serve them along with them. Same word, Alivir. So, Alivir, Yuktir. Yuktir means to engage. Engage, apekshaniya. And they are always constantly having that apeksha, that desire. Therefore, they are kinkaris. What do I do? What do I do next? And they are Tatra Ati Daksha Ati Vallavasya. Same thing. Apeksha means to desire. Apeksha. Constantly desiring seva. And that Narottam Das Thakur. In his internal bhav as Champalkara Manjari. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dase Anudasa Sevaya Dikara Diye Narottam Das. So in the internal, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dase Anudasa. So it is Mahaprabhu is Radha Govinda. Dasi Anudas becomes Dasi Anudasi. Seva Adhikara. Asking Lalita Vishakha, Rupa Manjari, please give me the authority to serve. Can I do this? Please. For the pleasure. Raghunath Das Goswami has this amazing desire that when Radharani takes a bath and the water collects in the drains, and obviously we have to clean the drain pipes, I will clean it with my hair. Can I do that? Takes permission from Rupa Manjari. Can I clean the drains? Not that I will directly go and decorate Radharani. I would like to clean the drain of Radharani, that water that collects in that bathtub. And she says, I will clean it with my own hair. Raghunath Das Goswami, although he has a direct seva of Srimati Radharani, like polishing her her toenails. But she is also willing to do all those menial jobs. Not that my job is only to decorate Radharani's toes. But no, desiring I will clean the drain pipe with my own hair. That is the perfection. That is why it is Rati Keli Siddhe. Yaya Livir Yuktir Apekshan Tatradi Dakshat Ati Vallavas. And therefore they are very Ati Vallabh. Not only Vallabh but Ati Vallabh. Very, very dear. Vallabh means dear and Ati Vallabh means extremely dear. And therefore our Srila Prabhupada is Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namaste. In that Krishna Prashtha. Prashtha means same thing as Ati Vallabh. Very, very dear to Radha Krishna, especially to Srimati Radharani. Ati Vallabh Vande Guru Hosri Charanarvinda. Unto such Acharyas who are Manjaris, who are teaching us Manjari Bhav, eventually in Raganuga Bhakti, I offer my respectful obeisances to all those Acharyas, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying. So, we have to sing all these bhajans so we can understand this, at least get informational basis of what they think, what is their mentality. So tomorrow we will take at 8 a.m. the 7th verse, Shakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastra. Although due to some time crunch, I had to compress some of the stuff in the 6th verse. But I think you all get the essence that how deep the service of the Manjaris is. uh, Beyond our imagination in our Kanishta stage. But at least on an informational basis. Like just like a poor man, it is beyond his imagination to buy a Mercedes or to buy a big villa. But if he has information, at some point he can work very hard in his life, maybe get himself educated, work, education, come to that point where he can make a lot of money, and then eventually he can, I'm giving a material example, eventually own a villa. So similarly, we are the poor beggars right now. We have no idea what Raganuga Bhakti is, what Raj Bhakti is, what Manjari Seva is, what Manjari Bhav is. But at least some information. Not that I have all that information, there is so much. It is impossible. If there are thousands and thousands of kunja, there's thousands and thousands different intimate sevas. There are thousands and thousands of millions apart leela. So many different leelas are going on, sometimes simultaneously. So if Rupa Goswami cannot describe the so many leelas, even if he had thousands of mouths and thousands of ears to hear, what is our situation? But we try to get a little glimpse where we need to be. That way, we can attain that perfection. Not just being satisfied by ending up in Vaikuntha or in Dwarka or Mathura. We will work very hard. Let it take millions of lifetimes. What is the rush? We have already, Anadikal, we have been existing in this material world. But now we have some information. Let us find that perfection. So seva, that is the definition of seva. When I said that the pleasure of the one who we are rendering seva to. So it's okay. Today what happened with me is not a big deal at all. But this was an example that if that's Radha Swami is giving a class, which he did in Vrindavan. The sound system was bad. We should be very careful. Some great Vaishnava is speaking. Then we have to see that everything is whoever is that seva, that is the meaning of Nikunja, Rati ke. Our Rati ke liye siddha is when we are able to serve our superiors very nicely with perfection in our present state. If we cannot do that here, you think we will even remotely qualify even in our dreams? In Golok Vrindavan or in Vrindavan? In the Madhurya Ras? Impossible. And that is why Prabhupada said, yeah, you chant 16 rounds nicely, follow the 4 regular principles, you'll go on back to Godhead. So Vaikuntha is open for us with open arms. But not Vrindavan Leela, not Madhurya Leela. Madhurya Leela, Krishna becomes subservient. Krishna is willing to hear all the abusive words. Here, if we see a single abusive word, it becomes aparad. And then the next thing we know, we will get leprosy or some kind of daridra. We will get some kind of result, bad result. But there, we can give gali to Krishna when we have reached that stage. And Krishna will love us for that. Ashtakaliya Leela. Krishna Kaviraj Swami. All the 24 hours, how, and in that, all these things are given the Rati Keti Siddha. How, which Rati Manjari shows her a mirror. That's why we show mirror. When we are in Shringar Arti, why do we show mirror? So we are thinking that we will be, eventually our bhav should be that we are in the Nikunja and we have decorated Radha Krishna nicely. And then for their satisfaction, we show the mirror.
Temple.
Yeah, there is in the back. Yeah. Yeah.
That is overtaken with ISKCON.
Oh, it has. I didn't know that. When?
I think 3-4 years back.
Acha.
And the Giriraj Maharaj has been given by that Brajvasi Maharaj, which are here. You see near the Yamuna, the mountain. Giriraj Maharaj is given by that Mataji.
I see.
One of our brahmachari is in constant service there.
I see. The one in the center, the Giriraj that we worship every day. Yeah. Very nice.
And their staff and others are also arranged by here Maharaj.
Acha.
So just that place, and opposite to that Narayan Sarovar is there. Narad Sarovar is there.
Narad Kund. Yeah, opposite Kusum Sarovar, yes.
That is also taken by ISKCON.
Oh, nice. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, this year I did not go to Narad Kund.
It's the
Opposite side. Yeah, I know. Yeah, just before Gwal Pokhara. Yeah.
So that is also ISKCON.
Yeah. So thank you all very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, all glories to our Gaudiya Acharyas. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So tomorrow we will have the 9th and 10th sessions, and on Tuesday I'm leaving. So right after, on the dot of 8:45 I will stop. We will do some question answers if needed. Hopefully I will finish the next 2 verses tomorrow, so we can have a question answer session on Tuesday morning. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada ki.
Database long time back, I also saw a book of Sanat Kumar Samhita.
Acha.